Once these hops are established, it'll be impossible to get rid of them. Till then, this crabgrass and all these weeds are gonna soak up any of the water. So that's the first part of the process. We get rid of that stuff. He's come to conquer Arizona! And plant some hops.
I started farming hops 4 or 5 years ago. I met John and the guys down at Puncheon, Colorado, Rising Sun Farms. They came out to do a wet hop harvest with us. And the first thing they noticed was I was pulling all the stems and leaves and material out of the hops, and they asked me what I was doing. And I explained that the most important thing was removing that material from that line so that they had a quality product to put in their beer. Because the majority of these brewers will take these hops back wet and throw them straight in the kettle. So I was the last line of defense for quality for them. I think that resonated well with them, and we started discussing building or developing a hops farm out here in Arizona. We came out to Agritopia and we met Eric, and we discussed the possibilities of doing this, and then finally we found this stretch of land that happens to be a perfect buffer for the crop. And we're gonna throw down probably about 500 to 1,000 rhizomes in this 175-foot stretch. We're gonna do a short trellis. And I was able to source some native Arizona wild Neo-Mexicanus hops for the guys out here, and also some cultivated varieties that were based off of some wild Arizona stock. So we'll be able to put some stuff that came from the ground of Arizona as far as hops go into the beers that they're producing, which is one thing that I know is, other than being able to source them from nature, is impossible to do. And I'm very, very proud and happy to be part of this project and bringing something great to Arizona.
Not edible. You pretty excited about this?
I am pretty excited about it. I'm always excited about trying new things,
Yep.
doing what hasn't been done, kind of being a part of paving the way and you know, making Arizona a better place. And
We were just talking about, is this the first? I don't believe it's ever been done in the valley. Some people would say this is stupid or maybe ignorant. So if it is, we're willing to take that risk. But at the same time, Travis isn't somebody who's blind to the fact. I mean, he knows Texas is where he's from. He knows the heat. He knows the dryness. So we'll compensate for those things, and we might have to have some unique methods. But you just wait till August comes around when these things are 10 feet high and there's cones happening all over the place, and this guy will go, yeah, I knew the whole time. If you pan that way, you can see why it's called an urban farm.
All these rhizomes are sourced from Rising Sun Farms in Puncheon, Colorado. It was actually picked in the last week. They've been refrigerated, and I drove them all in yesterday to Arizona Wilderness Brewing, and we put them in their cooler. So these are all cascades. We're getting ready to do 6 varieties here. They're very, very well developed rhizomes. As you can see, a lot of them are actually rooted cuttings, and the difference is they've been in the ground longer than a year. Way more developed. What we're gonna do on this farm is we're gonna actually plant 5 rhizomes per hill. Typically, farms will put in 1, 2, just because of the economic cost of it. What we're trying to do is
we're rich.
We're rich in spirit and love in what we have. So we're gonna throw down 5 rhizomes. We're gonna simulate a developed crown, and instead of waiting 4 years to see a mature crop, we want to see a mature crop this year, and that's what the goal is.
That's how we do it, man. We'll make it work for us.
So what we're gonna do, we'll bundle up 5 of these.
Bundle of 5.
In your hand?
Is this one?
That is a massive one. That could be 1 plant. So
Okay.
that's considered a crown. It's about the only kind of breaking ground that should be documented.
Stop doing that. I want that big one.
Yeah.
There we go. I'll just gnaw it.
Quite fibrous. It's been in the back of my car forever.
Ah!
Well, we gotta water these guys.
These guys come in, they love craft beer, they love food, like any human being. We decided there's got to be a charity behind this if we're going to brew this beer together. And came up with the Tillman Foundation, which is perfect for us because we feel like he would have come and been a regular here too, you know, just a guy's guy. And to be able to give back to that foundation, what they do for the community is really what we represent, these guys represent. So cheers to Pat Tillman and what he stood for, and moving forward, IPA, triple IPA.
I'll take that.
I'm full. Oh, you've already had 2.
This will be my 3rd.
Okay.
That's the low carb one. That's later.
What's your background in craft beer? Because you're talking home brewing, you're talking, you know what we're doing in the back. How'd you get into that?
You know, going back to Michigan in the off seasons, there's not much you can really do besides train and be indoors. Growing up, having founders, you know, in downtown Grand Rapids and Belgian, some good craft breweries.
You were lucky.
Yeah, you know, started you know, kind of developing a taste for craft beer, and so started brewing it in my garage, which was awesome. Actually, to cool the wort when you have a ton of snow outside, very effective.
Stick it right in.
Yes,
That's awesome.
You know, just kind of took off from there into the different styles and, you know, acquiring different tastes.
Earl,
Yes.
craft beer.
I love it.
Well, what's craft beer for you?
You know, it's more of a lifestyle. It's more of a
Lifestyle choice?
yeah.
Yeah, you came out of the craft beer closet.
I did. You know, and I blame my college roommates for that. You know, it's a lot that I learned from them being from Philadelphia. You know, there are a lot of good breweries out there.
Yeah.
You know, but
You spreading the good word.
trying to.
Yeah.
One beer at a time.
After another.
After another.
All right, well, thank you boys for coming out. We'll try not to mess this beer up in your name, and if we do, we'll just rebrew it. Never tell you. Yeah. It might come out in 6 months. You never know. Never say a word.
So when we sparge all that hot water, we'll strip some of the oils off. Yeah, okay, I got it.
Yeah, I did.
So it's like a step above first wort hopping.
The oil's fine with sugar, so it carries it through the oil. Hey, Earl. Just going in to the hop gods.
Grab some.
Yeah.
All right, so just give him a little drop. Don't give him too much.
Where's this going? On my finger?
Yeah, and then
You just lick it.
Okay.
There you go. All right, so
Okay.
Earl's tasting some hop oil now.
Okay. It's
And,
just like hops.
it's a great IPA.
It's just kind of hoppy, right?
We get a little of that, John.
A little hoppy. Describe what you're tasting right now.
Hops in liquid form, but thicker.
A little thicker.
I know it's at the top of the roof of my mouth, just sitting there. I need some water.
You look uncomfortable.
I am very uncomfortable.
He needs the towel. He needs the sweat towel.
Yeah. This is one of the toughest men in America, and look at what hops has done to him.
Not gonna do it.
The power of hops.
Why is it stuck in my mouth like this? This is like that.
Some IPA to follow it up.
Yeah, might as well.
IPA will taste like sugar.
It kind of just keeps going.
Alright. Oh, there's pellicle.
There's a pellicle. There's gonna be a huge pellicle. Alright, real fast. Hold on.
Can't miss it.
Not slow, but it's going to be a...
So let's try to chop
Okay.
the day. Oh yeah.
So what happens?
Well, there you go.
This is going to be one of
That's how you inoculate a beer with a bunch of human beings.
So they all have